So Mahatma Gandhi said, "My life is my message." So Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. So we may ignore Gandhi at our own risk. ये बोलता मार्टिन लूथर किंग जूनियर ने, we may ignore Gandhi at our own risk. भाई मार्टिन लूथर किंग जूनियर, तो गांधी इज रिलेवेंट इवन टुडे. सो नॉन वायलेंस के लिए बोला था, आई ऑब्जेक्ट टू वायलेंस बिकॉज व्हेन इट अपेयर्स टू गुड, द गुड इज ओनली टेम्पररी, द एविल इट डज इज परमानेंट. तो ये नॉन वायलेंस को अपोज करते हैं क्योंकि ऐसा लगता है कुछ अच्छा हो रहा है नॉन वायलेंस से. तो गुड जो होता है, जो अच्छा होता है, वो टेम्पररी होता है, लेकिन जो एविल होता है नॉन वायलेंस से, इट डज इज परमानेंट. So I object to violence because it appears to do good. The good is only temporary. The evil it does is permanent. An eye for an eye ends up making whole world blind. तो war, hatred and revenge ये सब चलता है. तो an eye for an eye ends up making the whole world blind. The man is but the product of his thought, what he thinks it becomes. A man is but the product of his thought, what he thinks he becomes. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. तो गांधी जी, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. Gandhi said, I am the lover of my own liberty, and so I would do nothing to restrict yours. I simply want to please my own conscience, which is God. A coward is incapable of exhibiting love. It is a prerogative of the brave. तो coward कभी भी love नहीं कर सकता. It is a prerogative of brave. So a coward is incapable of exhibiting love, and it is prerogative of the brave. So nobody can hurt me without my permission. So Gandhi said, nobody can hurt me without my permission. Humanity. You must not lose faith in humanity. Humanity is an ocean. If few drops of the ocean are dirty, the ocean does not become dirty. So people should not lose faith in humanity. Humanity is in an ocean. If few drops of the ocean are dirty, the ocean does not become dirty. So weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of strong. तो weak कभी forgive नहीं कर सकता. तो forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. An ounce of practice is worth more than tons of preaching. An ounce of practice is worth more than the tons of preaching. I do not want to foresee the future. I am concerned with taking care of the present. God has given me no control over the moment following. तो उन्होंने बोला, आई डोंट वॉन्ट टू foresee the future. फ्यूचर नहीं देखना चाहता. आई एम कंसर्न टेकिंग केयर ऑफ द प्रेजेंट. मैं सिर्फ प्रेजेंट पे ध्यान देना चाहता हूँ. गॉड ने मुझे किस पे कंट्रोल दिया है? ओनली द मोमेंट फॉलोइंग. सिर्फ इसी मोमेंट पे कंट्रोल दिया है. तो मैं फ्यूचर के बारे में नहीं सोचना चाहता. तो आई डू नॉट फोरसी द फ्यूचर. आई डू नॉट वॉन्ट टू फोरसी द फ्यूचर. आई एम कंसर्न विद टेकिंग केयर ऑफ द प्रेजेंट. गॉड हैज़ गिवन मी नो कंट्रोल ओवर द मोमेंट फॉलोइंग. इट इज़ अनवाइज टू बी too sure of one's own wisdom. It is unwise to be too sure of one's own wisdom. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. I look only to the good qualities of the man. तो आपको सिर्फ दूसरे में अच्छा ही देखने चाहिए. I look only to the good qualities of the man. Constant development is the law of the life, and a man who always tries to maintain his dogma in order to appear consistent drives himself into false position. Constant development is the law of the life, and a man who tries to maintain his dogma in order to appear consistent drive himself into false position. Hate the sin and love the sinner. Hate the sin and love the sinner. So religions are different roads converging on the same point. Religion के बारे में गांधी ने बोला था, religion क्या है? Different roads है, ठीक है, and then they are converging on the same point. So they're converging on the same point. So religions are different roads, they're converging on the same point. सक्सेस के बारे में बोला था, व्हाट इज़ अ फेथ वर्थ इफ इट इज़ नॉट ट्रांसलेटेड इनटू एक्शन. व्हाट इज़ अ फेथ वर्थ इफ इट इज़ नॉट ट्रांसलेटेड इनटू एक्शन. द बेस्ट वे टू फाइंड योरसेल्फ इज टू लूज योरसेल्फ इन द सर्विस ऑफ द अदर्स. सो द ओनली हु लिव्स फॉर द अदर, ये बोला था स्वामी विवेकानंद ने. और गांधी ने बोला था, बेस्ट वे टू फाइंड योरसेल्फ इज टू लूज योरसेल्फ इन द सर्विस ऑफ द अदर, इज टू lose yourself in the service of others. The greatness of a nation can be judged by the way its animals are treated. तो एनिमल्स के बारे में बोला था, greatness of a nation can be judged by the way its animals are treated. It is better to be a violent if there is a violence in our heart. तो उन्होंने बोला था, it's better to be violent. It's better to be a violent when if there is violence in our heart than to put a cloak of non-violence to cover impotence. It is better to be violent if there is a violence in our heart than to put a cloak of non-violence to cover impotence. तो लीडरशिप के बारे में बोलता है, आई सपोज लीडरशिप एट वन टाइम मीन्स मसल बट टुडे इट मीन्स गेटिंग अलॉन्ग विद द पीपल. तो लीडरशिप के बारे में बोला था, आई सपोज लीडरशिप एट वन टाइम मीन्स मसल्स बट टुडे इट मीन्स गेटिंग अलॉन्ग विद द पीपल. लोगों को एक साथ में लेके चलना. सो आई सपोज लीडरशिप एट वन टाइम meant मसल, कि आपके पास मसल्स होनी चाहिए, पावर होनी चाहिए, बट टुडे इट मीन गेटिंग अलॉन्ग विद द पीपल. इन अ जेंटल वे यू कैन शेक द वर्ल्ड. इन अ जेंटल वे यू कैन शेक द वर्ल्ड. वुमेन के बारे में बोला था, men can never be women's equal in the spirit of selfless service which the nature had endowed her. So men can never be women's equal in the spirit of the selfless service which the nature has endowed her. So men can never be equal in the spirit of selfless service with the woman. Men can be never be women's equal in the spirit of the selfless service which nature has endowed her. Then the spirit of democracy is not a mechanical thing to be adjusted by abortion or form. It requires change of heart. तो इन्होंने बोला स्पिरिट ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी इज नॉट अ मैकेनिकल थिंग, मैकेनिकल थिंग नहीं है टू बी एडजस्टेड बाई अबॉलिशन ऑफ फॉर्म, इट रिक्वायर्स चेंज ऑफ हार्ट. तो स्पिरिट ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी क्या चाहिए? इट इज़ नॉट अ मैकेनिकल थिंग्स टू बी एडजस्टेड बाई अबॉलिशन ऑफ फॉर्म, इट रिक्वायर्स चेंज ऑफ हार्ट. What difference does it make to the dead, the orphans, and the homeless whether the man destruction is what under the name of totalitarianism or the holy name of liberty and democracy? So power is of two kind. One is obtained by fear of punishment, other by act of love. तो दो kind की power होती है. One is obtained by fear of punishment, other by the act of the love. Power is based on the love is 1,000 times more effective and permanent than the one derived from the fear of punishment. The power based on the act of love is 1,000 times more effective and permanent the one obtained by fear of punishment. A nation culture reside in the hearts and in the soul of its people. So nature culture resides in the heart and soul of its people. Gandhi ने बोला था nature cultures reside in the heart and soul of its people. So man should forget his anger before he lies down to sleep. So power is of two kinds. One is obtained by fear of punishment, the other by act of love. And the power based on the love is 1,000 times more effective and permanent than the one derived from the fear of punishment. So their power is of two kinds. One obtained by fear of punishment, the other by act of love. And the power is based on the love, 1,000 times more effective and permanent than the power obtained from the fear of punishment. तो कल्चर के बारे में बोला नेशन कल्चर रिसाइड्स इन द हार्ट एंड द सोल ऑफ इट्स पीपल. तो नेचर कल्चर रिसाइड्स इन द हार्ट एंड सोल ऑफ द हार्ट and soul of its people. The nature culture reside in the heart and soul of its people. Man should never forget his anger. Man should forget his anger before he lies down to sleep. Man should forget his anger before he lies down to sleep. It is difficult but not impossible to conduct strictly honest business. तो difficult है honest business करना, लेकिन impossible नहीं है. गांधी ने बोला था it is difficult but not it is impossible to conduct strictly honest business. It is difficult but not impossible to conduct strictly honest business. सो गांधी का ये कोट बहुत रेलेवेंट है. लिव एज इफ यू वर टू डाई टमोरो, लर्न एज इफ यू वर टू लिव टुगेदर फॉर एवर. लिव एज यू वर टू डाई टमोरो, लर्न एज इफ यू वर टू लिव फॉर एवर. लिव एज यू वर टू डाई टमोरो, लर्न एज इफ यू वर टू लिव फॉर एवर.